Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's morning time here. It feels good. The it's been raining off and on. It's actually feeling pretty cool. I don't even know what the temperature is, but it feels nice. And I've been out and about this morning in the garden, doing a little cleanup, doing a little seed sowing. I'm waiting on my neighbor. She had a car accident and had to take her rental car back. I took her to take her rental car back. Now she needs to run a couple errands, so I'm waiting on her. So while I'm waiting to be a good citizen, I am in the garden just kind of putting around. And I thought I would take you all along with me for a little bit of a walkabout and show you what I'm up to. Not a lot. I have been cutting back some things. I've been sowing some seeds. Didn't take you all along with me for that. I just thought I would get some things done. Then I thought, well, I probably still have a little bit more time. It is 9:23 in the morning. I've been up for several hours. And so I thought, let me show y'all a little something. So let me show you what I got going on in the garden this morning. The garden is waking up. It looks really good. I'm always very pleased I have been very pleased over the past couple of years since I've created this garden as to what it looks like in spring and summer. This is my second year in this garden in the spring and summer, and it is just bursting with life, and I love it. I'm loving every minute of it. So let me show you a little cleanup because today is just, cleanup day for right now anyway. So let's get into it. All right, everybody, I am not using that gimbal. I am back to my regular trusty dusty old tripod. And so I'm over here in the flower area. I need to clean up some of the spent flower heads, which is what I've been doing over in this container over here, this tire garden. I have been cleaning it out, taking out some beneficial weeds. They are edible, but it was more than I needed, so I continue to take few more of those out, sowing more spent flowers as I see the heads. And so today is Clean Up Clematis Day. I am cutting back the spent flowers on the clematis. This one over here, you all have seen it. It is coming into its glory. I hope you can see how beautiful it is. Hold on, let me move around. Let me move around. Hope you all can see all those flower heads coming up. Don't know if you can or not, but those are flower heads right there. Let's change the filter so you all can see. There we go. Those are the flower heads coming up on this clematis right here. I need to get a little bit of plant tie and tie it up right there. Clematis, they don't really have strong, I can't think of what they're called, but the little tendrils, I guess. They don't really have much of a tendril to hold themselves up. They need help. And so I left the old bits and pieces that was in the ground from the butterfly pea up there to help them along the way. But as they move up, they are struggling a bit. So I'm going to just tack it up there. I've got some plant ties somewhere. I may have to go in the shed to get that, but that's okay. So, but it is putting on a lot of blooms. It's woken up nicely. I'm always surprised. I fear that every year it's not going to wake up, but it's waking up. It is waking up. Look at that. That's the beautiful clematis coming out of that pot, and it is blooms all the way up the stalk up there, as well as over here. The Russian sage. That's a new one I bought a year ago, and I've had this one for several years, and I just put them in the ground last year. And the Russian sage is waking up. As you can see, it's got beautiful purple little flowers on it. Has a gorgeous smell. I'm going to try to propagate this again and get some of this in the front garden. I would love to have some of this. You see how beautiful it bushes? I would love to have that in the front garden. So I'm going to attempt to propagate it again. I wasn't successful earlier this year. I just think it wasn't the right time. It wasn't the right time for me. And so I will be chopping off some of it again. It didn't do any harm to it because I chopped off bits and pieces of this, and it just flourished after I did a little bit of chop off. So we're over here. You have to excuse me again. I have my, and y'all saw, excuse me. Y'all saw me in the my reflection, but this is my clematis right here. This is one of them. I'm gonna put you guys clematis down right here. This is the one I'm working with right now, and I hope my head is not in the way. This is the Nubia. It has a beautiful reddish burgundy flower. You all saw it in my last video. So I've cleaned my shears. I'm just taking those spent flower heads and I'm cutting them off. I don't want this to die back. I want it to keep flowering. So I'm just going to cut all these spent flower heads off. That's what I'm doing over here today. I want this to flower more. It has been flowering for quite some time and I don't want it to stop. So I am just pinching back these flower heads. That's all I'm doing over here. And all I'm doing is just going and taking it back to where it joins to the plant. Just cutting it back. Let me show you. Hope you all can see. I'm just cutting it back right there where the flowers are, the petals, right down to the petals. I just cut it back like that and then throw the flower head into the pot. Trying not to cut any petals. But this is a beautiful plant. And as a matter of fact, the nursery that I bought this from, it's an online nursery. They specialize in vines such as clematis, and they sent me a notification here recently saying they had another one that I was interested in a couple of years ago, the Mrs. Batesman. It's a white one, of course, and they said they have it back in stock. And I was like, oh, do I want to do it? Do I want to do it? I really want to get it, but I don't need it. So I'm propagating right now. I took clippings. Oh no! I cut the leaf. I'm gonna put this in the pot and keep it moist and see if I can get it to germinate for me. Matter of fact, no, I'm gonna place this one in the greenhouse. I've already taken clippings from it, so I'll put this in the container in the greenhouse and see if this will grow. I'm not gonna put it in the pot. So let me go do that right quick. I am serious about my babies, y'all. These clematis, I really, really enjoy them, and I don't want them to not be in the garden. So cutting them back, taking off the spent flower heads are important because I want them to continue to grow. And that looks like one right there. Just like that. So the idea of accidentally cutting off more, I'm like, no! So I had to run and put it in a container where I have my clippings. So I do not want to lose this ever, 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 ever. And at some point, one day, I will probably put it in the ground and it will get much larger than it is right now. And it will completely, hopefully, take over this trellis. But for right now, I don't have it in the ground. I have it in a container. So that's that. I just went through and cut. As a matter of fact, no, I've got some in the pot. So let's look in the pot. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Let me move this out of the way. This is the allium. And the allium hasn't bloomed this year. I don't know if it will. But right here, this is the iris. Let's move that out of the way. Right here is clematis, little bunch of clematis growing, and it's very low in the pot, and it's flowered all the way down in here. So I am just taking these spent flower heads off and throwing them in the pot. And if at some point ever seeds come up and a whole new plant grows, I'll be happy. But clematis growing from seed takes a really, really, really long time. So I no longer try to propagate by seed. I try to propagate by cutting. And I have been successful. I have one in the front garden that I propagated a year ago, and it is growing quite well. As a matter of fact, I'll take you all up there and I'll show you what it looks like. It's woken up and is beginning to vine. So I'm just going through here. Today is just cleanup day, y'all. Y'all not gonna see nothing besides cleanup. Today is Clematis cleanup day, and I want to make sure that my babies are beautiful and that they continue to flower, like I said, and they are lush. And I get to sit in my little corner on the porch and watch them bloom for as long as possible. And I've got one way back here that I can't get at, and I know you all probably cannot see, but it's way back here. I'm trying not to snap anything. They have very delicate stems or vines, and you want to be careful and not break anything. They can easily get disease, so I'm trying not to break anything. There we go. And I just threw the spent flower heads in the container. And like I said, if there are seeds there that are viable and one day they give me clematis, that's great. But I'm not looking to have that because it takes a long time. So that's it. All I did was just clean up the flower heads, y'all. So let's go to the front garden and I'll show you what's going on up there. All right, everybody. I am in the front garden and the devil's trumpet is massive. I have to cut it back because I want to be able to walk behind there. I lost one last year, so I'll be taking a cutting from this one. I may do it today and transplanting it here so that I have a drift of devil's trumpet. But over here, and my white rose has gone over, but I need to cut them back. But this is my white rose, and this is one of my white guards that you all don't see. But this is a clematis right here. This is the baby that I propagated last year and put it in the garden, and it is loving its life up here, as you all can see. So, like I mentioned, not everything dies in my garden, y'all. So this little clematis, it is white. I'm not sure if it is the Henry Eye or if it is the Duchess of Edinburgh, but here is another white clematis that I was successful at propagating, and I just put that little baby right up here. And I'm so happy to see it coming back. It came back. I wasn't sure if it would, but it did. So let's talk. Let's go sit down and let me say a proper goodbye. So the moral of today's story is cut your spent blooms. That will keep your plants flowering. And if you're wanting to save seed, then don't cut your blooms. Let it go to seed, then cut it off as quickly as you can once that flower head goes to seed. Collect those seeds, sow those seeds as you've seen me do. I think you've seen me do that. I do reseed, it seems like, regularly. That's how the zinnia plants over there are so vigorous, because I kept just taking those zinnia seeds all last year. And uh-oh, the wind is blowing, y'all. This wind is high. I kept taking those zinnia seeds and just spreading them all over. Apparently, I didn't do a very good job putting them in the other container, but that's okay. I've got a couple of them over there. So what I'll do today, now that I'm thinking about it, is I'll go in the house and I'll get some zinnia seeds and I'll sow some more zinnias, because I want those containers to be full of beautiful zinnias. I have a zinnia that it's a beautiful magenta, yeah, deep magenta color, and I think it's gorgeous. And for some reason, I only get it one time. When I sow those seeds again, those seeds come back pink. And I'm not a huge fan of the pink ones, but you know what? If the bees love it, then let the bees have it. But I'm pretty particular with the colors I like to see in my garden, y'all. It's just something about it. This year, I'm trying to have a variety of the darks that I like, the deep purples, um, and a few of the pinks. So, yeah, that's what's going on today. So I'm sorry this video is so short, but today is all about cutting back and reseeding and allowing your plants to bloom and keep blooming and keep flowering as the season progresses. You want to continue to have your beneficials come into your yard, and bees, even though many people don't like butterflies, um, all of those are necessary. And as I'm looking, I see that yellow butterfly that leaves those doggone worms that eat my greens. Yo, it's a never ending cycle. It really is. But you need your beneficials. And even if you don't like birds, even if you don't like planting flowers, your food will go to seed. I've got collard greens over there going to seed. Even though I didn't want them to go to seed, I understand it's very hot here right now. It's been in the 80s and 90s already. Already. And having them go to seed is a good thing for me. That way I have seed. I sowed collard green seeds last fall with you all, and I thought I was out of seeds. Then I remembered I let it go to seed and I collected those seeds. So this year I'm doing the same thing. And if you're not collecting your seeds, consider letting some of your plants go to seed. I know it can be unsightly. There's certain people that don't like to see certain things, but collecting your seed is a good thing. It allows you to have seeds that are acclimated to your growing area. Not that other seeds that you buy from the store won't grow, but there's something about collecting your own seeds and regrowing those. They seem to be hardier, in my opinion, in your area. So let your plants go to seed, some of them. Collect your seed, and that's one less thing you've got to buy. So as I sit here and quickly drink a cup of coffee and wait for my neighbor, I'll see you guys in the next one. So I hope to see you either in my kitchen or my garden real soon. And again, sorry for the shortness, but y'all know I'm doing a good thing today, and I don't have a lot of time to be in the garden this morning. So until then, bye for now. And don't forget, grow something. And if you have a glider or a rocking chair, sit in that rocking chair and rock for a while you're growing something. It's good for your mental health. Bye for now.